I keep thinking you'll come on back to me.
Hello and welcome to Generally Dysfunctional. I'm your host, Mariba. With me I have my colleagues Ken, Kosi, and Whatless. Tonight we have 5 topics we want to discuss about. First things first, let's just get started with the main topic. Kevin Hart stepped down from the Oscars due to some post he had a couple of years ago. I think it was 04 or something like that. Like, what are your guys feeling about that then? Should he have stepped down? Should he have just tanked it? Should he have just apologized and try and still make that bag? Or do you reckon he did the right thing by trying to distance himself from it by saying, you know what, I'll, as he claimed, do what's best for the community and stuff? What are your guys' views on it?
I guess I'll go first. I'm 100% on Kevin Hart's side. I think he's just the latest victim in the online investigator alliance that is society these days, where they'll troll through your entire history and try and come up with anything that they can to get you quote unquote cancelled. I think the Oscars was just. I kind of have sympathy for the Oscars because I know that if they had brought in someone and then someone else found a tweet and then they pulled it up and be like, "Hey Oscars, what you doing with this guy? Look at his tweets from whatever," but forcing him to apologize for something he's already said sorry for just because the Oscars were never there to hear it. I'm not apologizing more than once for the same thing. Like,
Did he apologize before the acts? Because I don't remember him apologizing before.
It was
I
like
remember him apologizing after.
okay, so maybe apologizing is a bit too far because the original posts were him doing his comedy thing and like bringing out a joke.
Right.
So a comedian shouldn't really, unless you're attacking someone with hate, apologize for a joke. Like that's your job. That's what you do. So maybe he so I think his original posts were like explaining where he's coming from when he was making those jokes and not 100% apologizing because if you know Kevin Hart, you know he doesn't really hate any section of society. He doesn't really, and the tweets were more towards had a homophobic slant to them. So I 100% doubt that he is homophobic. It was just things about his kids, like if they came out gay and if his kid had a Barbie doll or something like that, he turned to get rid of that shit. It's like, all right, whatever.
So
I don't think he's homophobic, like you said. I'm with you on that. But in regards to the whole people digging up your tweets and whatnot, that's gonna happen, right? It's not hard. You type in your username and then you type in like whatever it is you wanna find. For me, if you was type in whatever my handle is and then the word nigga, you might find a couple of tweets. Well, I'm black, so I can use that shit. But in regards to Kevin Hart, that is, well, one, like I said, he's a comedian, and then two, how far back do we hold people accountable for things that they said?
That's a very good statement.
That's the thing.
This guy, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein, right? He did something, monstrous, right? It was terrible.
Yeah.
But again, that was many years ago with this other black comedian who got locked up and was slapped with a piece of chicken or whatever. Bill Cosby or Crosby or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Again, that was back in a different time. So do we use our rules today to judge on, yesteryear? I think that's where it comes down. That's where the question is with you.
I think it's depending on what you do. Honestly.
First thing first, I agree with what Ken says. However, I want to point out that I think also you have to understand that I think the people are picking what they want to get offended about because one of his kids, he made reference to one of his kids making being like, well, I guess retarded or something like that, or being like bubbling head or something like that, and nobody have an issue with that if he refers to his kid as stupid or something like that. So people are picking what they get offended by, and
it depends on where you look, isn't it? It depends on where you look, and you can't tell the offended person how to feel about being offended.
Agreed. But I'm just saying, when you're picking and choosing what to be offended by, I'm just saying.
I think there's a lot to do with public outrage. Like, there's public outrage for everything.
Pretty much.
People are outraged that the female FIFA World Cup logo is more feminine than the male one. So, I mean...
Wow. That's a wow moment.
I think, like, Kevin Hart, wise, he's a comedian. He's gonna make jokes. And any joke that is made as a comedian, somebody somewhere in some part of the world is taking up offense. If you make a joke about single mom, somebody is offended. If you make a joke about stay-at-home mom, somebody is offended. If you make a joke about stay-at-home dad, somebody is offended somewhere.
Are you guys offended by what's this guy's name? The white guy who he wears a black t-shirt and jeans in like all his stand-up comics, in all his stand-up specials. He says the N-word though. He does say nigga. But it's a white guy.
Yeah, that's the difference for me, because it's like we know what the history of the word nigger is.
Louis C.K.
Yeah, and we know where like what power that holds depending on who's saying it. We know that already. So the difference between that and making a joke that relates to the LGBTQ society is that doesn't come as a form of attack. The Kevin Hart's jokes don't come as a form of attack, but you get enough white people saying that word, and trust me, that will come as a form of attack on black people.
Eventually.
That's the difference in
I mean, they got fucking Karima the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's like, but in the case of Louis C.K., let's say for 1 second that he wasn't caught masturbating in front of female comedians.
On the phone.
Yeah, that is it.
Really? Is it really? Is it really? That's all I'm saying.
We're in a world where that didn't happen, and we're just focusing on the fact that he said the word nigger in one of his bits. He can get forgiven for that. He'll have to say, he obviously has to apologize for it at first, and like obviously the immediate sting of it means that no one's going to be really paying attention to him later. But like after a period of time, I mean, I originally found him funny, so I'm not gonna all of a sudden be like, well, fuck this guy for the rest of his life. Like, if he's legitimately sorry for that, he can be forgiven for that. But if he was to go and start talking about like stereotypical black stuff, like how we always get watched when we go into a corner shop or some shit like that, or how we always like chicken or some shit like that, or
call us a bunch of porch monkeys.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different thing. That's a very stark difference. But I'm saying, like, people would get offended if you started talking about black stereotypes straight away. But none of them come out of any form of hate. If you swapped it with a black comedian, it would just be a typical thing, a typical bit that a black comedian would be pulling off. So he shouldn't have to get in trouble 10 years down the line if they were like at the Oscars, yo, Louis C.K., we just saw these jokes we were making about black people and how they love to eat chicken and watermelon all day. So can you apologize for that? That was a joke. Maybe people didn't find it funny. Maybe people got offended by it. But at the end of the day, that was an honest joke. That's a difference. That's different from you going about saying maybe we should bring back the Third Reich in the middle of of a bit with in the middle of a Jewish comedy hall or something like that. That is the difference. Is what I'm trying to say.
You know what? Why did we stop lynching? We should bring back lynching.
You know what I'm saying? If he started out, if he come out with that, maybe I don't want to go on Netflix and catch his specials anymore. But if he just maybe if he comes out with a joke at the wrong point in time, then it's whatever. I don't really care. I mean, we like everyone gaslighted. What's his name? Not gaslighted. Everyone like cancelled James Gunn after those tweets that he had, and then like he couldn't direct that. Which Marvel? One of the Marvel films. Like they just removed him from one of the.
Was that Golden Guardians? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, look, he said this stuff literally a decade ago. If he hasn't, like, if he can't recover from that, then what are we saying? Like everyone is like
accountable
staying for life.
For life.
You know what's weird though is that all the Oscars wanted from Kevin Hart was for him to apologize, and then he could continue hosting it, no problem. So if you could say the worst, most vile shit ever back in the day, and then all it takes now is to say sorry, and you can continue getting your money, is it then fake outrage? Is it then people aren't really caring about what was said, so much so that they hope to embarrass or devalue someone for what they said in the past?
That's the main point, isn't it? Like, they just care that you say it, not that you do anything about it.
Yeah.
For real. Because you
I
can
mean,
still say
are
sorry
they-
and feel how you feel.
Are you just ballooning the effects of what someone said because they were black? Because I feel like just a little bit, maybe it was just more of an issue because it was a black person.
Yeah, I mean,
Because look at what happened with
Well, you know what they're gonna
Paul
do.
Crosby, and look at what happened with Kevin Hart. But then Louis C.K., who was jerking off on the phone, I mean,
In front of his assistant too, don't forget that, in the hotel.
he went quiet and no one cared. And that's
Yeah.
I think that's like the cheat code for existing in today's world. Once you say something and you go quiet, that's it. Because
No. The
there
second,
was a chick on Twitter.
Mhm.
She posted a video, or no, she didn't post a video rather. She recorded a video and sent it to her sister. The video was her after coming from a tan or whatever, and she was in the mirror with her phone, and she's like, "Oh look, I'm a nigger now," or "Niggerina, I'm niggerina now." And then she said, she followed it up with, "I'm a coolie," and she sent it to her sister. Her sister then takes the video and then sent it to like five of her friends, and then her friends, one of the friends rather, sent it out, and then we saw it. The rest of the world saw it.
yeah.
And she tried to defend it, but the mass scam that she was part of, cancelled her off of everything, and she was, as far as Trinidad is concerned, nationally cancelled, right? As that's the culture now. But all
Yeah.
she's done so far is she said sorry. She talked for a bit, but eventually she just went quiet, and now no one is talking about it anymore. So then, what's gonna happen when she resurfaces? When she resurfaces, do we talk about it again, or we just let it slide?
We whip her.
Because she wants to be black, right? Send her back to the old days.
I think part of the
Oh,
cheat
no.
code also, Nego, is that most times from what I've seen, non-colored persons, white people, all they do is apologize, say they're sorry, agree to do something, either some community service, something, or go to rehab or something. Do that thing for like about 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, they always fall for the gesture, like I'm donating to underprivileged black communities.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just take maybe a fraction of my salary out for this month and just chuck it at them, let them feed
I
it
have
for
a
the
question. There's rehab for being a racist. What rehab you gonna do?
I don't know.
So being a
I mean, it's
rehab,
America. There's rehab for like everything.
Probably.
yeah, doing rehab for being racist is a bit nuts. Like,
What you gonna do is sit down in a room and they just have pictures of black people doing stuff
Pretty
running in
much.
front of you.
Pretty much. You learn to accept it. You just learn to accept it.
It's probably like one of those estates where they have like the memorabilia from the plantation era.
I mean, the Civil War memorabilia.
No, they have museums that were previously plantation houses, and they now carry the Manilas or the chains, or they have pictures of the things that went on during its occupation and all that kind of stuff. People go in and then they come out with a quote unquote new outlook on life or whatever.
Also they say.
Also they say.
Thank you.
It's only a new outlook on life for the first 30 minutes of your day, and then
back to the
then
same old
back
shit.
to normal.
So who's starting the savings for the podcast? Because we're gonna say some wild shit and we're gonna need to donate some money to a charity.
yeah, you put away maybe five or 10 every month. 10 years that will build up, because that's when they're gonna catch you. We know now the formula is 10 years.
10 years.
Right?
You're accountable for everything for 10 years. Go ahead.
I'm just putting this out there. So I don't give a shit about them oversensitive bitches. Okay? I'm
So-
paying shit and I ain't apologizing.
I think what less is going to cost us this podcast.
Yeah,
he's
for
going
real.
to cost us our sponsors. He's
Yeah.
going to cost us our sponsors.
Yo,
That's
put
what
up
I'm
don't
telling
kill
you.
this sponsor. Come on now, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to say,
Don't
you know,
still give a shit.
It's
Yeah,
Pornhub
yeah.
now?
it's part of what us that we're going to try and get the sponsors from.
Doesn't matter.
Whoever's sponsoring the band for real. Considering
You know what? Let's get Huawei.
they don't want to be linked with us. They don't want to be linked with
Why
us.
not? Why not?
You just say you don't care.
Piss-
You just...
Piss Trump off. Let's go for some. Let's piss Trump off.
No, we weren't with the American state. Okay, then. Keep going. Oh God. Considering what we just said and learning from what Kevin had, well, goes through and stuff, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you have learned from 2018 so far? Where we're near the end of it. What has life taught you this year?
You get one?
You get one. Well, I can say multiple, like there's top 3 things, but one really important thing you'd be like, good. This year has taught me X or XYZ.
I'll go first. This year has taught me if someone hasn't called you in a long time and you suddenly see your phone ringing with their number on it, you should just answer and say what you want. Okay, that's what this year taught me.
No pleasantries. There's no pleasantries anymore.
No, just skip the bullshit. What you want.
Right to the
Skip
point.
bullshit.
And you can tell if they're still your friend based off how they react. If they get offended when you say that, then
What do you want? Hey, I'm just going, no, what do you want?
No, you gotta be more vicious. You gotta skip the do. What you want?
Fair play. What have you learned, Ken?
I have a more general one, to be honest. And it actually relates to the last topic, is that we now have a formula for offensive actions. It's let's find the offensive action, then we apologize for the offensive action, then we state our reparations for the offensive action, then we go back to normality. You can cite people like Starbucks, H&M, Prada, so forth and so forth, if you want to find the formula.
Is that when?
I think one just got in trouble yesterday or the day before for something like that.
Yeah.
Which one is the one with the monkey? Was it
The one with the
Came out
monkey?
just like this week, yeah?
Yeah.
That
The Prada one
was-
came out this week with the blackface.
Yeah.
And then
The-
it was like they had dolls of blackface, and it was well they say it's not blackface, but they still apologize for it. That always cracks me up when they defend it and apologize for it at the same time. Like
I didn't do
like,
nothing.
what are you trying to say? that bit always cracks me up.
It ain't what it looked like, but I'm sorry. It ain't what it looked
Right.
like.
No, yeah, they did it wrong though. They were supposed to say, well, hey, it's not blackface or whatever, but I'm sorry that some of your people got offended out.
That's the worst kind of apology.
Your people. Oh, did you just see your people?
You know
Yes,
what's
no.
surprising though? You know what's surprising? I think it was Dolce and Gabbana that had to get the fuck out of China, was it? They were supposed to have a big show. I think it's Dolce and Gabbana.
Yeah, I think it was them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to have a big show in China, a big fashion show, whatever. And some racist tweets came out from the owner, and the Chinese people just weren't having it. They fucking trashed the stores. They were burning all their shoes. I mean, burning shoes and shit means nothing after you've already purchased it.
True.
But they were boycotting. Like they had an actual boycott. Like they
A country
returned
boycott
things that
it.
they bought. Yeah.
Yeah.
A tree boy.
That was
It was
fucking
worse.
fantastic.
It
That's
was
how you do
worse
it.
than the H&M stuff in South Africa. It was way
Yeah.
worse than that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. People actually returned shit. They had to close down stores. Oh, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I
wish you
respect.
could do it the other way.
You know what, China? 1 point to China. Won't stand for that nonsense. 1 point for China.
Yeah, China said some respect on man.
Digo, what have
I'm
you
not-
learned?
Actually, my lesson came much earlier in the year. It was closer to the time around my birthday, I think. I kind of woke up and had I want to call it an epiphany, I guess. Normally, I'm a logical being, right? I try to argue every point with logic. However, when you argue with logic, you tend to argue along. You tend to debate with people who are more emotional than they are logical. But they're still able to have a discussion. You just have to acknowledge, and that's where the learning came in. I learned that I have to acknowledge the emotions about the topic, and then we can have a proper discussion. Because if you don't, at least in my experience, if I don't acknowledge the emotions, they tend to not be. It tends to be a very bad discussion or a very bad argument. and it's no one seeing the other side, the other person's side. So
Okay.
whether we may agree or disagree, for me that lesson is acknowledging people's emotions and be empathetic to what they say, as opposed to just going, okay, things are black and white, things are black and white, things are black and white. Sometimes there's a gray area. I just don't want to acknowledge it. So that was my lesson for 2018. It's like a level up of sorts.
I guess my lesson was mom was wrong. Friends do bring you back. After meeting up with two of my colleagues here and venturing into Trinidad and into areas I wouldn't normally find myself, and returning back to the safe haven of being done up in one piece. Friends do bring you back.
Bro,
Mom was wrong.
You didn't went bad. You didn't went anywhere near bad.
I don't know what he thought was going on.
Okay.
This nigga went one whole house and thought he was done for.
Nah, on a serious level though. I guess the best lesson I learned this year was which I kind of already knew but was more emphasized, was just know your weight. Know when to just walk away from a situation, whether you like it or not. As long as it's a benefit for you and you understand your worth, walk away. And applying it was a lot more, well, it wasn't as easy as I thought, but the outcomes were all better. In every situation, I felt better, well, this is not worth my time to walk.
Yeah, knowing your value is the key.
Yeah, knowing to tell somebody, well, if this is what you think of me, well, cool, I'll see you. And sometimes people go, well, I'm sorry, and nah, I don't want to hear the sorry school. It's alright, you do you, I'll do me. So, yeah, with all those being said, I think that was one of the best lessons I learned. So, continuing on the 2018 topic, we have been blessed this year with a lot of music. The biggest question is, was it too much music? Have some of the albums we heard let us down significantly? I don't want to cough and say Nas album, but cough Nas album, but have we really been let down, or have we gotten the full potential of 2018? What are you guys' views?
I was totally let down by Jay-Z and Beyonce. Just putting that out there. Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh my word. I was not let down by Pusha T. I still think that album was one of the hardest albums of the year. Yeah. So, what are you guys' views? Was it too much music in 2018?
I think it was way too much music in 2018. Like at least in the hip hop sphere, because that's where kind of I exist. But 2018 was just a fucking deluge of music, my dude. Every Friday there was
something new.
Yeah,
so many new albums and EPs and singles. I mean, I enjoyed it, but there was no way I was able to consume all of it. Not a chance I was able to consume all of it. I like perused some items, I skimmed albums, I skimmed some. I did listen to a few on repeat, like Daytona. I still had fucking Control and Awaken My Love on repeat from, what was that, 2016 or whatever. But I enjoyed Kid See Ghost for sure. But I think the biggest letdown for me musically was Anderson .Paak's Oxnard.
Yeah,
that was a fucking letdown, man. Oh man, that could have been so good.
It's like it's not the worst album of the year for sure, but knowing what he's done before, it just
hopes were
really
hung. Hopes
Yeah.
were hung.
Yeah.
Let's believe before he like did the whole run up to the lead of his album, I thought that was gonna be album of the year for sure.
True.
I was
True,
convinced that was gonna be album of the year, and then it just wasn't that. It just wasn't that.
Yeah. You know who really did surprise me? I think the most surprising album for this year, at least for me, was Kodak Black's Dying to Live. Oh, phenomenal album. Phenomenal album. Not necessarily because of its content. Well, actually yes, because of its content, but not necessarily because of its how it's built or its sound, but the growth that the artist portrayed. Fantastic piece of work. Fantastic.
Well, so that's your album of the year then? There you go.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay, what is your album of the year then, while we're on the topic? What is your album of the year? You got one. You just get one.
I know, you're gonna have to come back to me on that one.
Ken?
I have to come back to you on that.
Consider-
Yeah, isn't done yet.
So you reckon we could? Fair play. All right then. Okay,
Also,
currently
we're
then.
not getting running jewels for this year though. But
Yeah,
the year
that's
isn't
not
done yet.
What's
Yeah, he-
currently then? Currently speaking, as of 2012-18, what is the album that has?
It is either Nipsey Hussle or J-Rock or JID. I guess.
That's a lot of O's there, but okay.
I mean, it's somewhere. Those are all great projects for me.
I'm just literally while you're talking, I'm looking at my library. You know, you gotta allow me to, because I have two outlooks on the album of the year. So I got the one I listened to the most, which is Saba Care for Me. That's the one I've been listening to the most. That came out a while back in the year, so I got more time to listen to that. But definitely, because it was such a surprise, it's Black Eyed Peas, Masters of the Sun. Because that shit is
I didn't
like,
even listen to that. Is that the new hip hop shit?
yeah, it's like they literally said to themselves, let's just forget about the last, what was it? How old was I when Where Is the Love came out? Maybe 20 years. 15 to 20 years. Let's forget about this bitch named Fergie and go back to what we were originally doing. Now that we have all the connects, we can pull up people like Nas and Slick Rick and Tribe Called Quest, and then do some proper music.
Was it hard? It was hard.
It was fucking hard, because it's like, you know that like they got a good producer, and it's like most of it is like woke lyrics. It's talking about
I
current
didn't
events,
even know they dropped an album.
and it sounds good because it's Black Eyed Peas. Who's looking out for a Black Eyed Peas album this day and age?
Exactly, because it's like all fucking EDM and shit.
You know what I mean?
It's like EDM and pop and shit.
Yeah.
When I saw the video with them and Nas, I think I posted it in Inspiration.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, so I guess because the EDM money is dried up, they're coming back to hip hop.
No, I think it's because they're in control now. Like Black Eyed, they can probably pay money for their great grandchildren with all the money that they've made off of
True.
all of their hits and stuff like that. Like I recently checked one of their videos. It had like close to 1 billion views on YouTube. I was like, fuck, that's crazy. And like they have will.i.am, who's a really good producer, to like say what you want about his songs, but the songs that he does for other people is like he makes hits. And it's just purely old school sounding hip hop with a newer twist on it. And they're talking real shit. And they even clap back at Fergie, who was dissing them after they split up anyway. So I'm always appreciative of someone who
Serious,
claps
I didn't
back
even
at
know all that went on.
I gotta
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to this album.
Yeah,
sold
bro,
it.
that shit is my favorite shit. The Back to Hip Hop one that you were mentioning earlier, really good song. And like all around the world where they got De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, all together in one song. That like I don't know what else you can ask for, really.
Wow.
But the original Black Eyed Peas, political and more up to date. Like they used to talk about issues that were currently going on.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. And that's what I liked about them.
Back to that.
You know whose album I really fuck with though? No Name, Room 25, I think it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
And Fontes, I forgot what it's called. What was that boy? No News is Good News. Fontes No News is Good News. Fantastic album. But Room 25 is another one of those artists that really did develop from her last project. So she went from the whisper raps to now she has a sort of it's almost like a To Pimp a Butterfly type of jazz infused sort of project.
Yeah.
But oh man, she talks about a ton of shit. She talks about like fucking and pussy and money and social issues. I mean, she did talk about social issues before, but man, now it's like way more livid.
You gotta trim me into this one to hear this one. If that's not hard. I would say,
Everyone's talking about fucking and pussy and
nah.
We can't live a black thought, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, my album so far, since Nico has put me on it, is between the Tone and Black Thought and Black Thought is hard. I didn't know how hard that's hard until like
You're
I sit
welcome.
down, until I sit
Yeah, for
down
real.
and literally dissect. You know, like we're having that Hannibal meal when we eating someone. I just dissect that album on the ball. There was no wasted. There was no fat. There was no fat in this album. Just pure meat.
Bars.
Yeah, I couldn't do nothing. And it's wow. There's no track on board, but this you can subtract this track and the album will be good. No, it was just meat. I'm like, alright then. And on a serious level, I think I really did mess with Pusha T album because it was hard. But I think what made me like it more with all of this submission with Drake is when Drake try and shoot back and I'm ball. And Pusha T just ball. Let me just end this quick.
That was an album though. Come on.
That was the album,
Yeah.
but I'm still happy that my boy responded instantly and I'm gonna put an end to this.
That was culturally iconic though, for sure.
Yeah, that must have been the
guy
event
got
of the year.
Yeah.
When a homeboy called you out, call out your kid, call out your baby mama who's a porn star by the way. You just homeboy just set all the facts straight.
That was like
surgical
take
summer.
over at ether levels.
Yeah, he said it's a surgical summer. Dissect you, let you bleed out for a bit. Went on a Next Man podcast to drop a next shot about your best friend.
The man said
Tactical.
he had layers. The guy said he had layers.
Tactical.
Back one piece at a time.
Time.
Like some fucking onions.
I swear, I'm scared to see who wanted with push. Who wanted with push? No one wanted with push. Was it this
Did
year?
you listen to
Mhm.
you listen to Earl Sweatshirt's last album?
I need to get into that. This is the problem with the too much music stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, sometimes shit will just pass me by, and I'm like, shit. I need to go back to that. Definitely need to go back to
So what do you,
I'd stick in Sabbath.
Yeah. Like I even like not to promote other shit, but like Complex comes out with that top 50 albums of the year every year, and they normally have more of a hip hop slant to it anyway. So like I just read it whenever it comes out. There's so much shit that I didn't even realize came out.
I do theirs and DJ Boosters.net.
Yeah, them two as well come out with one. It's like I didn't see any of this. Maybe because they didn't promote it enough or some shit, but like they'll just come out with shit that I've never seen, and then I have to go back and listen to that as well as listen to the stuff that I know is coming out, and it's like
Yeah.
too much music. Too much.
I think the most enjoyable album for me was Kids See Ghost though.
yeah.
Admittedly, that was probably my most played album.
That
I'm
has
not
one of the
ashamed.
that has one of the most played tracks. What was it? Was it Free Part 2?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of my most played tracks of the year for sure.
You see that shit with 070 Shake? Oh man,
Yeah.
I love it. I can't get enough of it at all.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I always wanted to say the reason why there's so much music is because the same people keep releasing multiple projects a year, which is getting annoying. They need to stop. You
Yeah.
get one project a year. That's it.
Amigos.
You know what? Musicians should release nothing at all.
Mama.
Make you all happy. Wait until you guys just catch up and then release music, right?
No, it's not about. Okay, I see what you're saying, but it's not about that. It's just that like back in the day, I was just used to someone releases an album, then they go on tour for 18 months, then they work on an album for 6 months. So that's 2 years between every single project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
well,
then-
now people,
yeah,
now not as
I'm
many
fine.
people been touring.
Now,
Something
now
like
people
that.
are releasing music, and then after their music releases, the next interview they do after to promote
I'm back in
the
the mood.
album, they say, "Yeah, I'm coming out with a new project in about
Back in the
2
mood.
months.
Exactly.
I'm back in the
You
mood.
know-
I got this fire." I'm like,
You know who master did that? Gucci Man. Gucci Man.
for sure. He released like 3 projects this year. I
Yeah.
swear.
But I mean, wait. Leave my nigga Gucci alone. because
I'm not saying anything.
He
I'm
was-
just saying.
He was in jail.
Yeah.
That man
I'm just-
has material.
I'm just saying.
We're trying to say.
The
So anytime you go to jail, you just sit down and there's have material to come back out with. So,
I've never been in jail.
So what?
so say me and Bushu have rare material to come out with.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
I
That
mean-
album needs to come out soon.
True.
I mean, Buju Banton working with Khaled.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
not
be
gonna
hard.
listen to that.
I'll listen to that.
Yeah.
What?
Khaled-
Wait,
Khaled-
Khaled?
I'll
Khaled
listen to that.
needs to-
Khaled or DJ Khaled?
DJ Khaled.
Nah, yeah. He needs to keep his voice out of that. Maybe you can link him up with.
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute. I know you are not disrespecting DJ Khaled here. DJ Khaled is a staple in Jamaican culture, my soldier.
I know that for sure. But, like,
The Jamaica came out there.
Yeah.
He needs to, like, when it comes to the Caribbean music, he just needs to let the artists do their thing. Maybe if it's hip hop, go ahead. But,
DJ Khaled.
But DJ Khaled wasn't shutters. DJ Khaled has done Jamaican dancehall and reggae albums long before, and that wasn't a problem when he was still like an actual DJ. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem now.
You know what, guys? Let's just wait and see what he
I'm
do.
just saying.
Wait.
I'm not telling them don't do it, but I'm saying I'm less interested in it if DJ Khaled does it.
Doesn't DJ Khaled have another like Caribbean artist on his like label?
Yep.
Doesn't he have Popcan on his label?
Isn't Popcorn Atlantic? I don't know.
I don't know. But like, he should just be linking people to. Like, he should be doing what he does best: linking good artists together.
Yeah.
I think that's what he'll continue to do because he is the president of one of these labels now, isn't it?
I think Popcorn signed with Mixpac Records. That?
I don't know. Oh, shout out to Benny the Butcher. That album, Tana Talk 3. That is like, that's a throwback to street rap. When street rap wasn't fucking melodies and, you know, when street rap was just rap. Eat a nigga up, melt your face off bars.
Yeah. West Side Gun and Benny are just a whole nother thing, and I need to hear them with Alchemist, one whole project. So I can just hear straight New York bars. It's been a long time since I've just heard straight up New York bars.
Well, let me tell you, Tana Talk is Benny the Butcher and Alchemist and Darren.
Wait, Alchemist is on that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotta listen to that. See, this is what I mean.
Too much music. Too much.
Don't worry, I'll personally make a request that musicians to just stop dropping music for the next 2 weeks, just so you guys can catch up. Don't worry, I got your back.
Man, write a letter.
I'm gonna write a letter, a disgruntled letter to all of their mothers.
And you know what? This sounds like Stan. This sounds like Stan.
Yeah, but I ain't suicidal.
All right then.
And most.
Oh, and Cardi B is a surprise as well. I'm just flying that. I'm not gonna explain anything more, but it is a surprise.
You don't have to explain. It was a decent project. It was nice, you know. I didn't think she could do it. I
thought it would have been worse.
I would be honest.
It would have been worse than it really is.
I was hating until I listened. I was straight up telling Ken could be that. I was hating, but this is gonna be shit. This is gonna be dog shit.
But that's her like her lane though, right? Everyone thinks that she isn't gonna be as good as she is, and she comes out and she fucking knocks it out the park.
So I
she didn't knock it out the park, but she did.
She performed higher than expected.
There you go.
That's
Let's go with that.
But she did knock it out the park.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She made people raise their eyebrows.
Yeah.
So first track on the album, yeah, great way to start the album.
Yeah.
That Meek Mill.
It's not about to say Meek Mill championship.
Yeah.
No one's mentioned Meek Mill. Like, does anyone actually hold Meek Mill up that high? Like, because
I'm glad he stopped shouting.
Yeah, because listening to Meek Mill, I can say like I only see him as a singles artist. I can't listen to his whole album. Like, just personally,
I enjoyed this album like Championships the way I enjoyed Kodak Black's album. Like there was growth, so I enjoyed that. As far as the shout bars are concerned, I don't mind the shout bars in an intro track. You see Meek Mill's intros? Oh, they're fucking fire.
Yeah.
They'll get your blood pumping. They'll get you jumping. Man, you could punch a nigga. Balls. Through a Meek Mill intro and feel absolutely nothing. But the rest of the album, like it's listenable, but it's not something I'd go back to. But it's a good album, nonetheless. I'm not saying it's trash. It's a good album.
Oh, and watch out for City Girls next year. They're gonna have the whole ratchet clientele by the scruff of the neck. I'm telling you, every thought, hole, skit, whatever you want to call them,
Sketel.
is going to be reciting City Girl bars in your face more than they did Cardi B bars. Way
I'm gonna call
Rico
it.
Nasty needs to stop the City Girls. Rico
I'm not-
Nasty has to fight them.
I'm
He
not.
needs
I'm
to
not.
straight up fight them.
I'm not going to clubs then. Okay, I'm not doing this shit again. I'm not doing this again.
City Girls is a duo. One of them is in prison at the moment. A two girl. That's how you know. That's how you know.
City Girls is currently a solo.
But
And you know now that she's in prison, she's coming out with way more music than she would have before.
wait. So
She made levels of music.
you guys need to send me some links. Here's music. I'm not even.
Rico
Yeah, I'ma
Nasty.
play it.
Rico Nasty needs to fight the one that's out. For real.
Who needs to fight the one that's out?
Rico Nasty.
I don't know who's that.
Ah, you'll find out. You'll find out.
Uh,
Find out. I'll send you some links, bro.
No, you know what? Ken, you send me links. This nigga sends me shit to read. I just want to hear the music.
On that note, wait, hold up. On that note, ideally, the best time to move it to our next topic.
What? Is it me or am I lagging because he's cutting in and out?
Nah, it's
Yeah.
This is me, my bad. On that note, for sure. The next topic was actually a story or post that Nego sent to me to read. Finding My Humanity in My Masculinity by Jared Raymond. Shout out there.
It was inspired by some other white dude. Or
Don't
some other
know. Don't know. But either way, I had to read about it. Did you guys manage to find time to read it and stuff? I'm assuming you guys did.
Yeah.
And what was your thoughts on it?
Anyone wanna go?
There you go.
dude. He was absolutely sorry, Nick. My bad.
Nah, you're good. I'll follow.
The guy was absolutely right. I can't get the guy wrong or fault him for anything. When you're small, you grow up and you just wanna be into everything the older kids into or whatever you just wanna part of everything until you get older. You don't really actually know what you're doing until you look back. When they get older, you look back at what they did. So the guy was pretty much right. His experience and thing is, I would say a lot of his experience are like on point to most people experiences, especially in Trinidad. Or my experience anyway in Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I relate to him on a sort of level because like this attitude, even though he's talking from a perspective of someone that's from Trinidad, it does carry through to like my side because you experience that when you grow up in like an inner city environment. So I agree with him on a lot of points. Like I can feel that, like not necessarily insecurity, but like where he's unsure of what the absolute answer is, because sometimes it's like that for a lot of men out there, where like they want to be sure about things when it comes to what it takes to be a man, and if they are in fact man enough compared to what is expected of them. And but there's a lot of people out there telling you like left or right what it takes to be a man versus what it takes to be a woman. And there are a lot of people that will say there is no definition, even though we get put into these, I don't know, containers or brackets where certain things are expected of us, and I can really feel that when you're talking about it. It's the first time I was seeing Medium, so like I didn't know that people were putting up pieces like that on that website. So it's a really interesting read.
Yeah, Medium is a fantastic website for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I found this piece on Twitter. Well, the guy is Trinidadian, as you guys have said.
Yeah.
Jared Raymond, and I feel like this is a piece that a couple of people will need to read, because it, like you guys said, it highlights some of the issues that we go through as young men growing up, and then becoming who we are. We sort of have to grow into our emotions, in a sense, because they're so beaten down in the whole, be a man. This is what a man is supposed to be like. This is what a man isn't. You need to be this and not that. I can't speak on the whole um, battling with thoughts of whether I'm gay or straight. I think I've always been straight, but with regards to I think it was the last point, which was something along the lines of we need to have spaces where men can feel secure to express emotions or express how they feel or even grow. I feel like we need to foster these spaces because, like in this group of friends, you guys, there are times where I can feel vulnerable. There are times where other people might feel vulnerable or even come and ask for help or ask for advice or whatever on certain things. And I feel like we openly give it to each other. And I mean, we give each other a hard time, sure, if we're fucking up or if we're doing something stupid like, cocaine. But,
Shots fired. Shots fired.
but
I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should elaborate on that.
No, let's not.
no. I'm just drawing an example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I feel like a lot of men don't have these spaces, and it kind of leads to a continuation of what we were taught as young men by our fathers, by our peers or whatever. So I feel if there were more spaces, and not only for men's spaces, but for women and larger society to support and foster these spaces, because we have spaces for women, we have spaces for transgenders and everything. I'm not saying we need to be quote-unquote meninist or whatever the term is, but definitely we need to be able to we need to educate the younger generation coming up on what it is to be human as opposed to what it is to be a man in today's world. Yeah.
Something you said there, right? Reminded me of something the guy was talking about. Like he specifically said that when he was smaller, when he was young, he was not allowed to talk about certain things. But as he got older, he would talk to his friends and they would meet one and talk about that.
I think the part of this story was about overcoming the code of being men and just becoming bros, where you just having that openness and stuff. Because I think there's the unspoken rule as you're growing up, you don't talk about your emotions and stuff and all that nonsense. But eventually you get to a level where you should, if you find good friends and good individuals, you get to a level where you can simply say, this is how I feel, this is the situation, this is how I feel and stuff.
On the record, keep your feelings to yourself, don't tell me shit.
And this is the duality of
you know what? This exactly.
No, I read your stuff. I understand it. Even though it was boring, I said I read it. I understand it. I even went and reread it today. Right?
What a champ.
I agree that the guy is talking about what he's talking about makes total sense. But when it comes to me, I don't need to hear nobody bitching no more. I have enough gears of air doing that constantly.
I think the spaces where guys feel comfortable to be vulnerable are definitely needed.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I think there's 2 or 3 points from the whole thing, which I will link again in below. I will link it below. One point you mentioned was that I think his father and mom split up, and one was in Canada or something like that. And I think he's talking about, if I don't remember correctly, maybe I'm wrong.
The stepdad?
Yeah, one of them, he said, when he goes over there, that's the only time he gets to see how to be a kind of a mother when he spends time in Canada with his dad and stuff. And maybe that's part of it. Sometimes people grow up without their fathers, they don't have role models, so they don't know. I would say that's one. 2, I think the biggest thing I took from this, which is something I guess I learned from it, was when he expressed the differences between saying his own hypocrisy. That's the word, hypocrisy. In where he said he wanted to sleep around, but didn't want to be with girls who didn't sleep around. And when he broke it down to himself and stuff, it's something that I mentally worked through myself. Like, you're asking for something you can't give, or you don't want to give, and I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. You gotta be fair and everything.
Wait, can you repeat that?
The guy was being a hypocrite in the past before he worked it out. When he moved to New York or whatever, because he wanted to be with girls who won't sleep about all that he was sleeping about. And he mentally worked through that, asking himself and talking to himself about that, saying, well, I'm being a hypocrite and stuff, and he'd get through that process. That was part of
Well,
the
a lot of growth comes from introspection and thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, there's I say it to my brother a lot of times. I've said it to you also, Marie, but you cannot love someone if you don't love yourself, and you have to learn to love yourself first before you can love someone else and have someone else love you 100%. You know?
Yeah.
And a lot of that is it comes from growing in yourself.
Yeah. And like I said, that was one of the key part I took from it, because in my own head, I thought I would say like-mindedly similar in the aspect of, well, I don't want this, I want this. But then when you introspect in yourself and whatnot, or I like to say reflect on what your decisions and thoughts you made, you stop and realize, well, I'm asking for something I can't give. Like I said, I can't. If I want someone who is pure on something, I gotta be pure myself. I am not, so accept what's on the table to some extent, of course. Know your value, but likewise. So I think that was a really good thing. It was a very good read. I would suggest to all the viewers have a read of it also to see what you can get out of them.
Don't worry, we'll put the link in the chat. Well, in the right below the video. Yeah.
Definitely. Any other highlights for 2018? I know it's still going on, but any other big highlights you guys want to mention?
Do you all realize that Black Panther came out this year?
Yeah.
What do you mean that crappy ass show?
Yo.
It feels like that shit was so long ago. It's a long ass.
We have to support Black Panther, guys, because I don't know what next gonna get. Next good black movie.
Y'all may be into that Black Panther supporting, but I'm supporting truly good shows, which that was not. I'm black, and if anybody hates on me because I dislike Black Panther and I think it was a waste of time to just bring out something. It come like they just throw out that out there because people wanted it. So let's just make some piece of shit and throw it out there. That's what it felt like.
I feel like it was as good as every other superhero movie.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't.
Yeah, some superhero movies that are way better than that, but yeah, you could say that. I
would accept the fact you
except for
followed a formula. It followed a formula.
It made its money.
And we got the result we expected.
That's it. I can give you that. You said it made its money. Do the same formula, blah blah blah, made its money, disappeared into the darkness.
However, it definitely did show the power of black dollars, which is fucking amazing. That I think is a big win to show that people do have power when it comes to their own dollar.
Yeah. Any predictions 2019, guys?
Don't buy the Division 2.
Australia, Activision is gonna have beef with you.
We don't pre-order. No pre-orders.
Yeah.
We don't care. Just boycott it. Boycott the entire thing.
Is it Activision? Activision is not gonna sponsor the band.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft is not sponsoring the band. Ubisoft.
The only thing we pre-ordering is Camlet and Chain.
Wow, so Camlet and Chain sponsor the band. Camlet.
Yo, market me up, nigga.
Oh god.
You know what was fantastic about 2018? Learning that the Lakers can't shoot the simple free throws. I'm still raging. Sorry, I just had to throw that one out.
2018 was the year we saw being the lone Brit here. I'll just pick up Jose Mourinho got fired.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
What happened today? How do you feel?
One of the best days of the year for me. I never wanted him in the first place, and I'm gonna be that guy that said I told you niggas. When he first showed up, I'm gonna be that guy.
You know what?
I told you, and now you learn.
2018 has been good. Wenger left. Ricky came in. I can share your feeling. I can share
I
your
mean,
feeling.
Man U is still going to be a shit side, so
That's one of them cancers that you gotta take a while to recover from.
they're not going to recover. They're not gonna recover.
What if they actually do and come first in the season?
Not this year. Definitely not this
Not
year.
this year. Definitely not this year.
Not in the next 5 years. They have a lot of restructuring to do. Fuck
Mm.
Man U. They're gonna suck for a lot more time.
But the next right now, the only two teams who actually have structure is City and Liverpool right now. I think Chelsea's
Sure.
still rebuilding, Arsenal is still rebuilding. Tottenham just can't win anything. And Man
No
United is
Barcelona
rebuilding.
could find their feet in the last quarter.
Yeah.
I just
Also,
hope Barcelona
it-
could find it.
And just
Because Real Madrid is trash right now.
I
Yeah,
hope
True.
I hope
Yeah,
Barca
Real Madrid
loses. I hope Barca loses. I hope the next side Barca players get 6 goals against them.
I hope
That's
when they
it.
spit in your sleep.
that's some hate right there.
Wow.
Just on another separate note, if they don't sort out this Brexit thing by 2019, I swear to God, they don't sort this shit out, because my university group for the last project of the year, who turned in the work 30 days late, could organize Brexit better than this shit.
Wow.
Oh God, get this shit done. Because I'm tired.
Auntie They're not working out so well anymore.
Clearly not.
I'm tired of the pound being so weak against the euro and the dollar that
You can't
I can
travel.
barely travel.
It don't make sense traveling. It really does not make sense traveling. Unless you're going
I'm
to
tired.
like a cheap country, do not travel.
I'm tired of all the videos and the real life experiences of people on train getting racially abused because white people think they can be like that now. Just 'cause
Oh,
we're ex-
that is the realest shit. That is the realest shit. People are
Can we
so
please
brave
just
now.
get it done? People are too open with that shit.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can be racist from the inside of your home. That shit doesn't affect me.
It's
But
just,
I'm
it's
just-
better out than in, or better in than out.
Yeah, better than that, because I'm just trying to get from Houston to Watford on the train. I don't need to hear some white dude shouting "you fucking nigga" like 5 times just because he couldn't find a seat. Like that's not my issue.
Offer, how many crackers have you smacked so far?
Like this is, you know, the worst thing is that people will go on the train, will be the people that bury you from them.
Wait, you're
because
straying away from the question. You're straying away from the question. How many crackers have you hit?
no, I'm trying to explain. You try to get to the man on the train. You try to step to him. There'll always be that guy that thinks he's being the just man on the train, saying, "Hey, you don't need to do this. You'll get in more trouble than he does." I'm like, bitch, I want to get in trouble. Get the fuck out the way.
Well, smack him too. You understand?
Yeah, but he's another nigga. I don't.
What?
He's another nigga. I don't want to like hit another
You know
nigga
what?
so
You
I
know
can
what?
get to the white man.
You know what? You living in the wrong country. You're supposed to be living in Trinidad. Let a white boy say that too.
Yeah, but you know you.
What? You stepping in my way?
I'm not. We're not the. You're not the minority there. I'm the minority here. They'll be like the video will show a racist man screaming in the middle of a train getting justice from a black man. The newspaper will say raging black man beats up black man on
Look how
train.
quick that's it. Look how
You know
quick that
what was the
fit that.
highlight of the year, dog?
Go on.
In terms of viral videos?
Go on.
Yo, there's so many white people getting smacked the fuck out
Yeah.
being racist this year. It was hilarious. There's so many videos of like a white person, old woman, older man, you know, middle-aged woman, middle-aged man, talking shit, talking about, oh, you nigga and you monkey and you're black and you this and you that, and you know, trying to get ahead of black people. And then it was like black people just had enough of it. At least American black people. And some of them got some hard fucking bellas, dog.
You know what I did? You know what I discovered? That was actually fun to watch. I don't know if it happened this year, but I discovered it this year. Was the argument where the girl was arguing that white women or little girls can't be in Boy Scouts. And her argument was, where in Boy Scouts does it say that a girl can't join? And the guy watched and said, in the name, Boy Scout.
That was funny. I'll give you that. She was probably arguing that.
No,
And
no,
you-
no.
I feel like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts should just go the way of the same mindset that I have. Of
You
the
mean
Olympics.
you
It should
mean
just be
Girl
scouts.
Guides? Girl Guides.
Whatever. It should just all be scouts. Male, female doesn't matter. Same thing with Olympics. It should just be Olympic events, not female 100, male 100. Just
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
no,
yeah,
no,
but
no
then
more.
all the
Exactly.
women, when all the women
Yeah.
start losing, then what
Exactly.
happens then?
Agreed.
Yeah, no
Trust
more.
me.
they get better.
No more special Olympics either. Let's just clump everybody in one thing.
Okay, that's
and
No,
unfair.
that's an unfair advantage now.
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
When
But
people,
I don't want
Because
I don't want a
they
nigga with
fight
with
for
some
right.
robot legs hitting it over.
you know what I mean? Like when it looks like they're leaping meter to meter while they're doing the 100, I don't want to be seeing that against any of our brethren, even if it is like.
One of them niggas with two robot legs hit the fucking
Yeah.
north button. It's alright.
You know
It's
when the
meant to be
controllers
a
when you get the turbo button and then you can switch that on and it just hits the
Well,
hits the
niggas-
button
well,
multiple times.
Niggas running the 100 meter with a PS4 controller.
With the turbo button. If I see that, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing that, but the same way I wouldn't mind like if an Olympian just goes on all of the steroids and then does 100 meter in less than 5 seconds. I wouldn't mind that.
That guy will die. That guy will die. 100 meters in 5 seconds. His heart will explode.
Yeah, but don't tell me you wouldn't want to see.
I would want. I definitely would want to see that. More the exploded heart, but not the 100 meters. Man, come on.
Oh, you got in
Um,
trouble.
I think if they merge sports into one sport instead of having male and female, it would encourage the female athletes to like train more, to go at it harder.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I honestly disagree. I think it will be more like, if that happened, it'd be more whining saying, oh, they need to lower the rules and stuff. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think it would, because how it is now, men have their own sports, so men can complain to other men, and next men will be just be like tough enough. Which would be go back to the last point we said. It will be more like get better, and it's easy to tell a guy get better, and he goes and train and stuff. However, if you have a woman and stuff, and if you get better, then it can be seen as discrimination, and it has so many gray areas of how you will come across that.
You know shit's gonna go down when they start, because then when it's a team sport, you got the changing room situation and all that shit. When it's American football, when someone comes in with the flying tackles,
Yeah.
on a woman, you know there's gonna be someone coming with a 2-footed tackle in soccer/football on a woman. You know
Done. It's
hell
done.
to be
It's done.
it's done.
Done.
It's done. Even though in any other circumstance you're only concerned about the tackle, but you know there's gonna be more anger when it's gonna be on the woman.
Yeah, especially when you see.
I feel like after several years, we wouldn't have to worry about that. I think it will balance itself out.
Digo.
I think we just have better performing women. I mean, I'm not saying that right now there are women who will not, outperform men for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, but we just have not seen it because they have not been in the same arena. It's like with rappers. You say, oh, best rapper, and then you say best female rapper. No.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. The skill gap will close, but like there's a genetic difference between men and women that just create that places where power is needed, like in things like football and stuff like that, where you can't make up the difference. Like if we had an Olympics where there was the weightlifting thing, you're not going to get people who are able to match men to women. It's just not going to happen.
Do you think nature will take its course though over the years? Like women will just evolve to have like more bone density and bigger muscles, like genetically.
Maybe. Who knows?
Disagree.
Look at Simone Biles, she's huge.
But wait. Let me go back to the point and say, when you said put them on the same plane field to get better.
I mean, for example, Simone Biles is doing things that men can't do or won't do or can't do yet. Who knows?
But Nigo, wait. I was
Or
saying,
haven't done.
when you have players like Boateng and Barry who is stomping you in your chest and stuff in a football match. You can't have that in the Olympics. A guy can't look at a woman and go, you know what, I'll take the red. Stomp in her stomach. You can't do that.
Yes.
You can't.
The sport will evolve.
Do it
Like anything else. I think the sport will evolve.
We
Why
might.
not?
I mean, as the way I look at it is humans versus humans. And these are just the best humans who are doing it.
Look,
Ex-
I'm saying that's fine. I'm saying the outlook on it is going to be different. I'm saying I will 2-foot tackle any woman that tries to step on the pitch. I don't give a fuck. You're getting barged. You're getting shoved. You're getting.
You know what? Shit that.
I don't give a fuck.
What about boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts?
That's what I'm saying. It's when you do it, and then the public comes back and says it. If someone gets
that hard, you'd be like,
if someone gets put
hard.
Fuck the public. I want to see a fucking Muay Thai woman beat the fuck out of Money Mayweather. I want to see that shit.
Yeah, what I would say. I would say that if that actually happens and the public reads against it, all the person who did it have to say is, yo, woman fought for equal rights, and I'm treating her like I would treat another guy when they step into this arena with me.
and I agree
Is
with
it
you.
fair that I treat them like that, or y'all want me to sissify myself, fight the woman?
Don't you sissy fly.
I think the world will adapt. At
I
least
agree the
when it
world will
comes to
adapt.
sports.
I agree
Yeah,
the world will
I
adapt.
think once it stays sports, like anything else, the world will adapt. Because
After
when
she
you look at
broke her
people
bones,
getting yeah.
There'll be growing pains for sure, but the moment McGregor puts Ronda Rousey in a chokehold and everyone screams abuse, you got to know to that's
I
gonna
wouldn't.
happen.
I wouldn't scream abuse. I'd scream squeeze her tighter. Tighter.
Look, I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, growing pains. That's what I'm saying.
But look, even all of this, WWE is very, what you say? It's basically acting, and the men and the women don't fight each other in WWE. The woman will hit the men and abuse the men, but the men wouldn't fight back.
Any parts they
There'll
used
be
to.
few men, there'll be few men that have actually fought men and beat women. Example: Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Don't give. He don't give. Stone Cold do not give.
Not a single thought.
Right. I'm okay with that. But most of the men would not even. A woman will be beating them in the ring and they would not throw back a punch. Come on. Man, I get low and then hit your uppercut and send you back to wherever place you come from.
Alright.
That's me. I think I'll stand with Ken on that one.
Fair enough. Anyways, guys, with that one, we're gonna close. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being part of the podcast, Generally Dysfunctional. Same time, every week. You can follow us on Twitter, Generally Dysfunctional, on YouTube, Generally Dysfunctional, and soon to be coming on Spotify. We will let you know when. In that case, peace.
Peace.
It does.
What they said.